Yes, take me out of the darkness, people. Take me out of the darkness. Okay, Graham. I haven't even watched the whole of this video, but I am going to watch it. Um, and I'm going to... it's not going to work, basically, with the camera and putting this video on at the moment. I am biting my nails, too. Because just watching the start of that video of what ADHD is like... It's annoying. It's annoying to have to watch a video like that, because that's the medical community basically labeling people such as myself as being people who have a disorder, ADHD, which is just a label, Graham, for certain behaviours that normal people do. And actually ADHD and all that, ADD and everything like that, is basically far too much overused as a label for hyperactive children, especially. I mean, basically children with expression and character, heart and soul, who are hyperactive because they're excited children, will be diagnosed as having ADHD and will be given the right drugs to combat that disorder. You know, let me finish my nail because I can still feel the nail hanging off my finger. That's sick, Graham. ADHD, just because, you know, ADHD is basically bullshit. It's bullshit. The symptoms are not bullshit. The realities of people, scatty-brained as they like to say, tangenting off, have an imaginative brain. Most people with ADHD as adults are artist type, expressive, performer type, and creative in a normal workplace environment people, you know, and they're the people who can chat, they're the comedians, they can, and whatever, you know, all these people. Now, if this is my point with ADHD. Oh yeah. Gone, good. My point with ADHD is that I'm watching this video, right, and it's done in a very childlike way so that children understand it, so that children can watch this video. This is the video that Graham sent me just now. Children can watch this video and go, oh look, it's me. That's me, daddy, mommy, daddy. That's me. Look, that explains me completely. I do that. I must get fixed. I must go to the doctor. The doctor will tell me I'm ADHD. Then I will take the prescribed drugs and I will be normal. Now, I have a fucking serious problem with the label ADHD. Serious problem. And one of the hugest problems that I hope that most people we would want to hear is the word disorder. When you go to a doctor and your doctor tells you that you have disorder, you know, there's lots of disorders out there. They like to call intersex people DSD, which is also another disorder problem. Problem because if you at all are at least knowledgeable on hypnosis or training of the mind, kinesiology even, or, you know, that's muscle testing, but, you know, still, you know, it's body stuff, like you're telling your body you need certain stuff, or your body is telling you it needs certain stuff, and you know, if disorder is put in there, it doesn't sit well in the brain. You know, that disorder is a negative. I think it's the wrong word to use. So ADHD is not the right term to use for this situation. You know, I think it's wrong to call a child, a fucking child, that's discovering itself that's got ADHD. You know, that's fucking fucked up, people. So, Graham, you sit on a medical fence So does Nick, by the way. The two of you agree on those levels, that science rules. And I say science doesn't rule. Science is a tool, but it certainly doesn't rule. Nice one, isn't it? I like that. Science doesn't rule, but it certainly is a tool. Yeah, definitely. But ADHD doesn't serve a purpose. There's no purpose. There's no good purpose for calling anybody or labeling anybody as having ADHD. A lot of people in this world. Here's a great example that I've given many years ago on this level. Is that advertising all over the streets, on television. Even when you're about to watch a movie, there's other advertisements on before the video that you've rented sometimes. Our minds get distracted a lot these days, these years. There's a lot to see. We get distracted. There's a lot going on in our brains. But some people show it more, So I think ADHD is incurable. You can't cure it, because that's the way you are, you aren't. I admit now, obviously, that there are people that would suffer other, slight worse forms of ADHD, that would be anxiety attacks, overthinking and stuff like that, panic attacks, and these things need to be treated. But I think they need to be treated without drugs, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of ways to get through without doing it. They're abusing themselves, and ultimately, long drugs, of course, that you can live longer, because you will definitely, of course, aspect of drugs, definitely. But I'm saying there's overuse of pharmaceutical drugs, and there's over on people like myself. Obviously with video that, and seen and read and heard and listened to people on this bipolar. I think both of those, I include both of them, always have included those two in a category of complete null void bullshit. There are enough technical bipolar giving people to be swearing in their head, but I've got I've got a disorder. You don't have a disorder. You just got fucking medical people out there who just want to feed you with drugs most of the time, not all the time, and are not treating the root problems of how we get into these situations of ADHD. I mean, nutrition is a huge point in all of this. Nutrients for the brain to work. So people who just have a McDonald's diet and are taking the drugs, well, I can understand that, because they've got a McDonald's diet. There's lots of factors to bring into it. I'm not the person to bringing in the actual facts. I'm more the idea maker, if you haven't noticed that already, people. And I suppose the people gatherer, I would like to say that I am as well. Yeah, so I welcome anybody's thoughts, their own opinions on what I've just said. It's a very sensitive subject, I absolutely know that. And of course there's going to be many people saying, you're absolutely wrong, they do exist, blah blah blah. And what I'd like to say to that, so I don't have to make another video, is that the floorboard's creaking again. The other thing I'd like to say is that, what was it? Yes, that people will say that they do have ADHD and blah blah, and I'll say, oh, they might have the symptoms, but they don't have a disorder. So let's change the fucking name, the names in general. But bipolar, that they like to call bipolar, I'd like to say that the world is bipolar and people aren't bipolar. People who are termed bipolar are simply sensitive creatures that are reacting to a very unsteady world. It's as simple as if you watch the TV, from 1 minute to the next you can be happy and then sad, because basically they've got the strings on your brain and the emotional strings. The television and the screen and the people in charge have got you, and they've got me as well, technically, So we've got to be careful into the future, people. We've really got to be careful and stick together, not be attacking each other. Just, letting each other be and to express ourselves. Yeah, that's what I suppose I'd like to say. So, thanks Graham for sending me the video, and I'll end the video with just letting go of my camera because the zoom's broken and now it's zooming in, and we're gonna just leave it at that. Okay, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom in the room. Yeah. Yeah, what can I say, man? Still enjoying the nail. Munch. Ah well. See you for lunch another day, man. Ciao.